Leslie Curtis, you know her name. She's around everywhere that you see fun things happening. And we're going to have a big fun thing happening at Regents Park, Boca Raton, very shortly. So, Leslie, welcome to our program. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you so much.
I have to describe what she's wearing. It's so pretty. It's like a cantaloupe-colored shirt with cantaloupe and white stripes. And she's not eating cantaloupe, but it is so pretty. It matches your hair. That is a nice blouse. Where did you get that?
Thank you. To be honest, from my sister.
It's beautiful. Well, you look just perfect in it. It was, it's funny. Clothes really make a difference, don't they?
Oh, they do. They really do.
I wish men would listen to that. You know, so many of our older men don't dress up, and they just don't realize how important it is. It makes them seem old.
Well, they get home from work, throw on the T-shirt and the shorts, and that's it. They're done.
In fact, I was going to tell you about this. In our new apartment, we have a wonderful path that goes along the water, and there's a Catholic church there. Mm-hmm. And so I always expect to see people dressed up. Do you know people don't dress up to go to church now?
I know.
I mean, it's okay not to wear, like what you have is fine. They're having shorts, they're having T-shirts. When did that start?
I don't know, quite a while ago, but yeah, it is amazing. Just like if you remember when you flew years ago, you got dressed up. People just don't get dressed, and you would never go downtown in any city not dressed up. But it has
changed, hasn't it? But church somehow seemed like that was different.
I know.
But, of course, church does go on all week. It's not just the Sunday. But even on Sunday, I see them walking, and I'm saying, they must be going to church like that. But, whatever it is, I guess life changes. But I want to talk about Regents Park at Boca Raton and what makes it so special. One thing I know is you are going to have the most wonderful health expo coming up.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We thought about doing an expo, and they've never done one there before. So... and certainly I've been to a lot of health fairs and things like that. So we wanted to switch it up a little bit and not have just the typical vendors that you always see. Some of them we have. We have the Alzheimer's Association and the Parkinson's Association, but we also have live entertainment through the whole event, which is going to be a lot of fun. Her name is Susan Ashley, and you can actually hear her on SusanAshleySings.com. She's wonderful. We have a lot of different vendors that are for wellness. We have not Busy Buddies. Yes, Busy Buddies gym. And like I said, I walked in there, and there's all these big guys that you can see work out all the time. But they also have Silver Sneakers that comes to that gym. So they're going to be at the expo. Talking about cantaloupe or watermelon, we're going to be having fresh fruit there, just an FYI. And different, light snacks for people to pick up, finger food kind of things.
And I guess we should tell people it's Saturday, May 17th. They'll put it on your calendar. It's coming up. Saturday, May 17th, and it goes from 10 to 2.
Yep. And let's see, who else do we have? Oh, we have Boca Ballet. Now, you got to wonder.
Interesting.
Yeah, why would you have Boca Ballet? Well, it is interesting because I went to a Parkinson's walk, and there they were, and I'm thinking, you kind of scratching your head. But they have this wonderful program for patients with Parkinson's. So whether that individual is standing, using a walker, or in a wheelchair, they have classes to reteach them how to dance and enjoy life. So they'll be coming around 11:30 to do a live demonstration and answer any questions. So
that's great.
I had to do it. It just seems so
cool. It's unique. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I have to tell everybody about that Regents Park of Boca Raton in itself is an event. If you go there, you will see so many plants, and especially now that spring's come, the flowers and the views as you're being walked around. It's a lovely place to come, even if they didn't have an expo. But with an expo, it should be quite gala.
Yeah, it will be nice. Now my biggest, not problem, it's a good problem to figure out where I'm going to put everybody, but we have about 30 vendors coming. And I am leaving space for interactive kind of things like the Silver Sneakers, the Boca Ballet people, the gym people that will be doing different little that shows. But demonstrations. And like I said, the live entertainment. We'll have the same sketch artist that I kind of stole from the Boomer Expo because he's so good.
He is good. Yeah, that's
so
great.
He'll be there doing free sketches. It'll just be a lot of fun. And Dr. Mencia will be there.
I heard that. Is his dental department going to be there also?
I don't know. They have a table, and he probably will get there toward the end of the event because he's got patients during the day.
That's right. He's one of the few physicians open on Saturdays. But see, this is going to be from 10 to 2, so maybe he'll get there around 1, but that'll be fun. He'll always bring people. Is he going to send any of his other staff?
Yes. Yeah, he's going to have his staff running it. Dr. David Levy will be there, who's written several books about caregiving and actually has a weekly radio show about caregiving reality, which is great. And he'll be doing book signings. So interesting mix of people.
Program.
Yeah. So it will be a lot of fun.
And I hope that Laura's going to be there because she's one of my favorite people.
Oh, yeah, Laura. Poor Laura.
She's moving and she's got so much to do, but she'll be there.
She'll be there with her camera and doing video and all that good stuff.
So the only thing you haven't thought about it, how about ducks or alligators in the ponds or something?
Listen, I really was trying to get, how they have not rescue dogs, therapy dogs.
Yeah.
But nobody would call me back. I called all these different agencies because I thought, wouldn't that be great?
Therapy dogs.
I couldn't get them to call back.
Strange.
I'd still put them somewhere if I could get a hold of them. I just thought that would be fun. And so many people don't realize that they would qualify for a therapy dog with a physician's order, and they never have to really be alone. So I'm still trying with that one.
Okay, but what are we putting in the water? How about a rowboat or a canoe or something?
No rowboats.
No rowboats.
No rowboats.
Well,
yeah, that would be great.
We could have something
just
in
rent
the
some
water.
Swans and
yeah, that's what we want, some swans.
But
make a swan lake.
That would be nice. That's a good idea.
They do have. It's funny around our walkway. We can't tell sometimes the difference in real birds and the ducks. They put ducks in the water and they're not really real.
I know they're fake. Swans are nasty animals. They will bite you very easily.
Then why don't you get some make-believe ones?
Right, I'll get some fake ones.
That probably would be neat to do anyway if you could find a make-believe swan and just have it in the water.
That is a good idea.
Yeah. We'll have a fountain in the water. So have you gone to Seminole Hard Rock at night at all?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it gorgeous the way they have that waterworks and everything?
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is.
They've really done a big job. Well, let's keep going on, and let's just maybe want to go back a little bit and talk about Regent's Park or Boca Raton. I mean, is it a hotel? Is it a restaurant? What else? What actually is it?
We're a skilled nursing and rehabilitation center. Some people think we're a hotel. We have 80 short-term rehab beds, and those are for patients coming directly out of the hospital. Nowadays you can't most people cannot just go home because you're in and out so quickly that you do need a little tune-up in a rehab facility. We do have a dining room specifically for our short-term patients, and it is really quite nice. Breakfast is really cool. Eggs made to order, so if you want sunny side up, that's what you get. If you want an omelet, that's what you get. And all the different things, the lox and the bagels and you name it, we have it for breakfast. And we serve the patients. They don't have to get up and get their own food. And then we have 100 long-term beds.
What does that mean?
Those are patients that live at the facility. So right now that unit is pretty full. Probably about 10 or 15 of patients are private pay, and the rest generally will convert to long-term Medicaid.
And what are the conditions of those residents?
They're
generally?
A lot of them have some dementia or confusion, or at the very least very forgetful. They need assistance with probably activities of daily living. They would forget to eat possibly, or sometimes they'll eat and they'll forget they've eaten. So, they need help. They can't live on their own, and more debilitated than even living in an assisted living. So, nursing makes sure they get their medications, monitors their vital signs, just make sure they're doing okay. Long-term residents, they end up with frequent urinary tract infections, just all those things that the elderly unfortunately fall prey to, and we keep an eye on them. So, automatically, somebody starts getting a little more confused. The first thing we look at is, urinary tract infection or things like that, because it's almost always what it is. These are people that, really can't ambulate by themselves. They're either, in the wheelchair or have to be walked with someone because they're frequent fallers. They just don't have the strength. So.
Well, that brings up a point about something. Even though we're reverting, we're going back to the expo in a way, and someone who's going to be there. I think that Dr. Larry Lampert is, when you talked about falls, I was thinking about him and how his programs can really help people from falling, but he really deals in even other things. When I was there, Phil and I are going for our exercises of our eyes, and there were children there. There was a young child who apparently had difficulty. The parents could see that they were very smart, but they weren't doing very well with their reading. And so he's a lot of fun, and if he's around, he'll talk to everybody.
Yeah.
So I think he's quite a personality. I'm glad that you're getting him to come, and maybe that brings up the story of the neuroscience building at the Boca Raton Regional.
Yeah, Boca Raton Regional Hospital will be there. And the Marcus Neuroscience Center, I think it's set to open in July. But they will have information about that center at the expo. Larry Lampert will be there, and that's good because he's going to be affiliated with the Marcus Center. And we're so proud that he's also affiliated with us. We told him
with us at Boone Times. I'm happy
right.
He just gets all around, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He's just such a wonderful guy. We told him to bring all his toys so he can show and demonstrate to people.
Have you ever had that done?
I've put on the prism glasses.
The prism glasses, right?
Boy, that'll make you crazy.
No, but it hasn't done that to me yet. He's slowly doing it. It's going to get stronger, but it's amazing. It's what he's developed there. So I think a lot of people need to know more about him. He's going to write an article in our June issue a bit more also. So.
Oh, good. Yeah, he's wonderful, and he's just a down-to-earth guy. So he's not intimidating to any of the patients. And it's amazing, how many patients that fall frequently, it's because of a visual problem. And, I kind of look at them as they're coming in, new admissions, that frequent falls. If we don't know why, then you got to have Dr. Lampert look at them, because there's a good chance that it's either a peripheral eye vision issue or functional eye vision issue. But so he's really good. Anybody that comes to the expo, you got to go and meet Dr. Lampert.
Well, then getting back though to falls and talking about your short-term rehab center. I just am amazed how people can go in there in the state they do and then come out probably a week later in many instances doing so well. What do you attribute that to?
I think, it's a lot of things. In a short-term rehab setting, it's truly a team that's working with each patient. So you have the nurses, the doctor, the physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy if it's indicated, a dietitian, case manager, or social worker. So it's a whole group of people that are meeting and talking about this patient at least once a week. So they can see if they're progressing the way they should, if there are issues. A lot of times in the elderly specifically, there's depression. So, we'll call in somebody for counseling, either a psychiatrist or psychologist. So there are a lot of things that we can do to help that patient progress in a quicker manner.
What are the most common ailments that the patients have? We know they've either had a hip replacement, a knee replacement, a shoulder replacement. Then do you get strokes?
Strokes.
Victors. We always call them victors because once they get out of the hospital. What else?
We have patients that have had spinal cord surgery, laminectomies, and then just patients that have actually any kind of surgery because, again, they go under anesthesia. They're there for anywhere from 3 days. I've seen some patients come in after 2 months in the hospital, so they're debilitated. So it's really working very hard with them and the family, who's by now probably exhausted, tired, the patient's fed up and, annoyed. So it's working real hard with them on every level to get them back to their prior level of functioning.
Yeah, it is hard to think about someone who goes home and they're not ready to go home, and that makes everybody very upset, miserable. The caregiver, whomever it is, and then the patient will never really maybe resume his or her previous capabilities.
Well, it's true. I mean, if you think about all the times, I'll say I and many people have decided we're going to go on an exercise regime, and how long does it last? And we're not in pain. We don't have any medical issues. So you send somebody home that's probably still has some pain. They're tired. They're not going to continue the way they're supposed to with their exercises. It's very rare that they do. They're not going to see the little changes that might indicate some medical things going on. And very often, patients that go home before they should end up right back in the hospital.
I know that when you had a big open house, you had just opened up a big rehabilitation area. I forget what that was. Yeah,
initially Regents Park had one gym, and physical therapy and occupational therapy had to share the gym. We opened up a second gym. So PT has their own, OT has their own, and it's so much nicer. We have the shower room has been converted to really an ADL suite where they learn how to take their showers, go step over when you go in your shower, you step over the ledge there. So there's all kinds of things. We have a washer and dryer, so they, can practice all those things that they need to be able to do when they get home.
Didn't you have a car, don't you have something?
We didn't get the car.
Oh, you didn't get the car.
That was just so ridiculous. I told them I'd go make one out of cardboard.
Right. We just take them outside to a car.
We take them outside to a car.
Right, to a car.
Yeah, but we do have a kitchen area, so they
have the kitchen too. That's right. That's
we have
important.
Cooking classes every week, and the stove and the refrigerator and the microwave. We have a bed so they can practice getting in out of a real bed, not a hospital bed, which is real important because Medicare has cut down dramatically on who they will authorize a hospital bed for. So they either have to pay for one if they want to rent one, or they need to be able to get out of a regular bed. So
and they're small, aren't they? Lower to the ground.
They're lower to the ground. You don't have rails on the sides of them, so it really is. It seems like it shouldn't be a big deal, but it really is.
Let me just tell you, I'm Anita Finley, and I've had the pleasure of talking with Leslie Curtis, who is, I always think she runs the place, Regents Park of Boca Raton, although that's not true. There is a wonderful administrator and of course, a lot of other people. But Leslie is, I would say, the community relations person. She's the reason why people go to Regents Park, as far as I'm concerned, because everybody knows her, they like her, and she's always helping everyone. So it's Leslie Curtis, and she's actually a nurse, but she just doesn't practice nursing on a day-to-day basis. But your knowledge helps you know when something's right and when something's wrong.
Right. And it's, I love bedside nursing, but, there comes a point in your life where you say, if I lift one more patient, it'll be the last one because, after a while it hurt. You just get older. But so you use that knowledge in looking at program development, which I love, and which patients, would be appropriate for the facility and all those good kinds of things. So
I don't want to forget. So I hope you've been listening, but if you just tuned in, we've been talking about a very exciting Health and Wellness Expo taking place on Saturday, May 17th. It's Get Fit, Healthy, and Smart, and it's from 10 in the morning to 2 p.m. It's not a lot of time, but you'll have a lot of fun. It's going to be a wow event. There'll be entertainment, great prizes, delicious food, and a lot of wonderful exhibitors for you to talk with, and probably cavort with, I would say. That's an unusual word. I haven't used that. But to dance with, maybe, or to do exercises, or to talk with, to get your face, painted, and get a photograph or a portrait of yourself. Lots of great things, and we don't want you to miss it. Boca Raton Regional Hospital is one of their major sponsors, and of course Boomer Times will be there, and we are very excited about this. The location of Regents Park of Boca Raton it's 6363 Verde Trail, and if you're confused, let me give you a phone number that you can call and get information. It's 561-483-9282. 561-483-9282. It's really in the vicinity of the mall, the Boca Raton Mall.
Yeah, and if Verde Trail Elementary, it's
off St. Andrews.
Yeah,
actually, that's the way to remember it.
It's easy to find.
Yeah, it is. But just know that's the location if you're curious. So no matter where you're listening to this show, you can be down in Broward, even Miami-Dade. Come on up. Boca has lots of fun things to do, and this is a great way to spend a Saturday from 10 to 2 and get to see a place that if you ever should need something, you absolutely will want to talk with Leslie Curtis about what they offer. They're more than happy to give you a tour. Do you get a lot of people who actually come before they're going to have an operation to see what you do?
We do, and more and more often we see that, and I so much more prefer that. When people don't know where they would go for rehab, first of all, you kind of have to assume if you're going in the hospital for some kind of surgery, there's a good chance you're going to need short-term rehab afterwards. Number one, so you really should be looking around to see where you would like to go. You know which hospital you'd use, you know which doctor or surgeon you'd use, but people don't think about the rehab that they're going to go to.
Well, actually, Leslie, isn't it true that most of the time they're oblivious to it? The doctor just says, okay, you can go here, it's close to the hospital, we'll just go there. And people don't know that they can make that choice themselves where they want to go.
Yeah, no, they don't. They think that if the doctor says to go to ABC, that's where they have to go, and that isn't true. Patients have a right to pick the facility they want to go to. That's just it. You can't make someone go somewhere they don't want to go.
Right, and so Medicare is going to pay no matter if it's down the street or 10 miles from where it is.
Yeah, Medicare reimbursement is the same at every facility. So, there's a lot of stories out there at different places. So
but I can tell the stories you can't.
Yeah,
I'll tell the stories. The stories are some places you really don't want to go, even to visit. I mean, there's one thing to stay there, forget it. And I have to tell you about this. I just thought of it now. I have a friend in Palm Beach. He really was a leader in a lot of big Palm Beach things. And we were used to be very close friends. And I think as he got older and he lived alone, he went and had a hip operation. Now, I didn't even know about it because usually before I would advise him and where to go. He didn't tell me, and he must have gone to a place that was very, very depressing. And he called me while he was there, and I said, "You've got to get out of there. You're never going to get your hip replaced properly. It'll never work." And he didn't call me, and I think I tried to find him. I didn't know where he went, and it was so true that I've visited a lot of people in places that I would not even want to visit, no less be. But I can tell you, Anita Finley can tell you, that one of the nicest places that you would ever want to go is to go to Regents Park of Boca Raton. I mean, it really is. It's hard to even believe it's what a rehab center would look like.
It really is so spacious and relaxing with the gardens and the courtyards. It is a wonderful place. You can't get too stressed there because it's just really beautiful.
I guess what I really like about it is it's very spatial. First you go and you have your lobby, and then you walk through not one of those long halls, but a short hall, and then there's views with glass outside, patios, water. Then you go through another area, you either turn right or you turn left with a hall, and then there are more views. I mean, the owners, I have to congratulate them. I think I told that to your owner. I forget his name.
Ari.
Yeah. I told that to him when we were at that open house, that he should be congratulated on whatever architect he used, because this is a very unusual layout. Don't you think?
It is, and I think that, you know, when you're healing, it is the mind, body, soul. You know, if you're in a restful place and you can look out at nature, you know, because obviously with all those trees we have the birds and the squirrels, and you know, it's just amazing how many people sit outside, you know, when they're not in their rehab, so they can enjoy the weather, the nature. It's very good.
Yeah, it is, and because it is a different type of a place, but it does all the good stuff. The underground, that I'll call it, the underground really works. The physical therapy, the occupational therapy, the speech therapy, and all the other things around that you have actually now, respiratory therapy.
Right.
I've been very fortunate that I've had so many of the experts on my radio show to talk about it, because most people really don't understand what the needs of someone are after they have a surgery. You know, they all get all upset about before they're going to have it, but it's after that's the most important thing. In fact, I have a friend who was so nervous about the surgery, and I said, well, where are you going afterwards? And he hadn't even thought about that yet.
Right. That's the typical. And that's really important, because the surgery goes fine. It's the rehab that's going to put you back on your feet, you know, and hopefully faster than, a slow healing process. You go right home. I mean, home health is great, but you're going to get it 3 times a week for about 20, 30 minutes. You know, that's nothing compared to 2 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week. You know, there's a big difference. And 24-hour nursing care that, you know, are there to help you and monitor your medical condition. And, you know, just it's really important for people to know where they want to go. And I'll tell you, you know, when people call me prior to surgery, you know, I tell them to come in and tour, and then, you know, they'll tour, and, you know, they might call back 3-4 times with more questions. And, you know, like I said, we have the Guardian Angel program. So once I'm personally involved in them, I become their guardian angel. So I'm with them until the day they're discharged.
Well, our guardian angel has to go back to do what she does. So we're going to say goodbye to Leslie Curtis, but we're going to say hello to the wonderful, wonderful health fair that we're going to be seeing. Mark your calendar, Saturday, May 17th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And if you need more information from Regents Park, you can just go on their website. You go to their app. Actually, they have an app that's called, I guess it's Regents Park, but go to their website, regentsparkboca.com. Thank you so much, Leslie.
Thank you so much.